journey.
Yes. So yes, welcome to Intuitive Guidance. Yes, we don't. This is not.
We don't fluff you up.
This is not guidance by the masters. By the way, that was just our guidance.
This is not intuitive fluff.
That was just our guidance. So yes, welcome guys. Welcome everybody. So yeah, usual Monday night. What is it? What are we? 20th April 2020.
Mad.
The middle of lockdown, whatever they call it, quarantine,
ISO,
hashtag
ISO,
hashtag perfect time for going inwards.
Hashtag within.
Zara Lee, hi, how are you going? So perfect time for going within this lockdown worldwide, and the perfect way to deal with all of it too. It's like, so as within, so without, as above, so below. Sorry, we're just laughing because of the stuff we've just been listening to earlier. So, any guys, it's probably going to be a laughing night.
It will be
so, if anyone's got any sort of questions and
hey, Tina.
Hi, Tina from Denmark.
Wow. How's it going?
Congratulations
Welcome
to us. Welcome. Yes. So,
Hey,
hi, Kim. Hi, Caroline. So, yes, if anyone's got any questions on health issues they're going through, especially reoccurring ones, where pains are, what they represent. So what we help guide you to through your intuition and ours. So we look for a lot of detail in what you say. So left or right, front or back, describe the issue, where it feels debilitating, whether it feels cramping, like if there's things like that, or other reoccurring issues like, I keep banging the left side of my car every time I get it fixed. There's lots of things like that that are what we call symbolic in our intuition, our inner being, trying to talk to us in certain ways
constantly.
So we can, really help you hone down on that.
Yep.
So hi guys, hi Marlene, Leanne, Bronwyn, Joy.
Hey guys.
Deanna, I think.
Diony.
Sorry for our pronunciation. Okay, so yes, if anyone's got any questions or any little tidbits about what they're going through, we can help guide you. So intuition basically means to be taught. Tuition means taught and from within. So our inner being, our inner guidance, we have three aspects to our being. Anyone that did our Thursday night meditation, when we integrated the divine masculine, divine feminine, for some of us it was quite intense. So you can go and look that up on our last Thursday's one if you want to do the meditation. We do the guided meditations on Thursday night.
Yep.
The three of us are here that did it. We're still working through it.
Yep.
4 days later. So it was quite an intense one.
Yeah.
But it's part of the threefold flame within, what we call, this is the the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, which I have tattooed on my arm, the representation, mind, body, soul, thoughts, words, and actions, all the three-part being and about integrating them. And so this is why, we look at, Leanne, I've always hurt my left ankle from falls and sports, and now I have an almost constant ache in
the outside of my left knee.
And the outside of the left knee.
Torn all ligaments in my left ankle over time.
Okay, so left leg in general. So the left side in general, guys, most of the time represents, and this is most of the time, and this is how it shows up. Remember, we are one whole complete being. So don't use this kind of as division. This is how our intuition works and how the people coming here, it's not the only way it works. But the people, if you're here, this is the way it works for you. So left side represents either spiritual or female issues, or, energetic female, spiritual. Right side represents male, physical, material issues. So the ankle particularly and the knee, we're talking about solar plexus and navel chakra. So the ankle's right down the solar plexus, almost into the base chakra stuff. And so it's a lot of inflexibility, and the knee as well. They're both about being flexible in your spiritual direction and being flexible with females. So it's Leanne, so you're a female yourself. So it's either being flexible about your own direction or it's be flexible. You need to get anything that involves the lower three chakras, the solar plexus, the navel, and the base, which represents, say, the elbow, the forearm down to the hand, or the knee down. These things, they involve a lot of emotion. So there's the ankle and the one close to the base chakra has got to do with group issues. So issues you've got about females or about spiritual groups. So that's going to interfere. So it might be religious groups, or it might be females in general, the females in your family, or the way you see females in the world and their role in the world. So it's about getting rid of those negative emotions and getting more flexible with it. And the knee, again, it's really about turning your direction in the way that you want to go. You really need to. So it's funny because all the stuff you've had, the left knee one, I've had exactly the same thing. I had 3 arthroscopies on my left knee back in the day, and I've got the right ankle, which I ripped apart in a motorbike accident. So I really, really know these ones quite well. Ligaments have got to do with control. So you've got control issues here. So the torn ligaments is you're either having too much control or not enough control. If it's the inside of the knee, it's the internal control. If it's the outside ligaments, I'd say it's the inside because most of us it is, myself included. and so it's like there's not enough control, or there's over control about your direction and about being flexible in your direction. And it will involve women. It will involve the way you see women, and it will involve the knee one is the solar plexus. So that's a lot of your issues with you. So elbows and knees, guys, this is for everybody. Elbows and knees are related mostly to the solar plexus. And so they're our relationship with ourselves, about how, on an emotional level, about how we've dealt with things in life. So there's lots of stuff there.
Sports jumps out.
Yeah, and sports, so it sounds, which is competition, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's exerting yourself.
Yeah. So
that's kind of what I get. It's flexibility so that you don't exert yourself.
Yeah, so it sounds like over control for competing, and probably from a real genuine need. You probably grew up in a really competitive family or in a really competitive area, like in the suburb. And so, especially if you're more empathic, like I'm guessing you are if you're on our show, most people are. And when we're really empathic and we're around a lot of competitive people, we seem to overdo it. So, it's kind of like over control. You need to control some more on the inside, which is more about letting other people go back the fuck off, to put it plainly, and allow yourself to be more sort of balanced between the spiritual and the material or physical. So it's a lot of stuff about you and women, and it's a lot of stuff about which is affecting your spiritual direction. Again, Leanne, it feels like a shitload of stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I can't go any further than that because there's just too many issues and we'd have to speak to you. So guys, that applies to anyone. If you just want to come online, we can come online on this. There's a link at the top to come online, and we can speak to you face to face, and we can get through some of these issues more directly, find out the people they involved or the issues they involved by listening to your words and your feedback. And okay, so
the guided meditation can be found on our through Facebook, probably the easiest way.
In
if you go to Bequest Wellbeing on our Facebook page, we have a guided online meditation group that we set up. And we run the lives from within that group. We go live in that group.
Top here, or we'll put it there later.
The link to our Facebook's in the top.
Yeah,
at the top of the live.
And just go to the Facebook online meditation group. That's every Thursday.
You'll see the post in our
It's free at the moment, guys. So get on there while you can. Okay, so a lack of iron.
Marlene.
A lack of iron. So iron has a lot to do with the base chakra and the earth element and stuff like that. So besides the general iron supplements, which I'd go for anything that's just quickly here, guys, on the supplement side of things, go for something that's plant-based. So with the iron supplements, go for your plant-based things. But what you need, iron is about strength. It's about when it comes to the energy, it's about grounding and it's about strength. Also, cook with iron, guys. The elements are really important to cook with. I have different pots. I have iron pots. I have stainless steel. I don't have them here at the moment. But
they're in the shipping container.
They're in the shipping container. How about that? They're in, bamboo, different elements that we cook with. Even the type of spoon I use for different things. So use iron cookware if you've got it. You can get like even a skillet, an iron skillet or whatever. But yeah, just it's more about grounding. It's about strength. So barefoot on the earth is going to give you a lot of iron, and just being more authoritarian or authoritative from within about you and your direction. That's the main thing I'm getting. You've got to be your own authority, and that authority is going to come from intuition, from within, or the inner being, whatever you want to call it, the Christ self, whatever you want to call that. That's where the authority is going to come from, and this is what this whole show particularly is about: is to how to listen to that inner authority, how to listen to the intuition. It's always talking to us, it's always guiding us, and Yeah, so that's okay.
Caroline Hanson, I have a sore lower back. Did you want to get any more from it, or
Look,
or you want to just drive straight into your favorite?
It's like, look, the sore lower back, and it depends where. And I'm guessing it's about L5S1, which is why Johnny's having a joke with me about my favorite, because that's the one I sort of crushed in a couple of accidents. But it's again, it's about following your intuition. If it's around there, if it's more than the lower tailbone area, this is base chakra stuff. If it's more around L5S1, around the navel, around the back, then we're talking about issues with one-on-one. So basically, you've got issues with groups, with the tribes, all your different tribes. So if it's lower, down near the tailbone area, if it's a bit higher, it's issues one-on-one. So you got issues not feeling supported. You've got too many conflicts with individuals and the way that you've dealt with them and they've dealt with you. And that's the one that it feels like. It's all the one-on-one issues. Therefore, you don't feel supported. You know, that's you can go to the Brahma of the Soul book, or you can go to the Louise Hay one. They all talk about being supported, but in what way? It's like being supported from intuition about how we deal and how we deal on really, guys. This is really about us clearing our emotions. Yeah, we need to get rid of our negative emotions, and then because
a little bit higher, she said, in that place,
a little bit higher, then we might be hitting up towards the solar plexus, or I would say it's a bit of both. Therefore, it's your issues with you about how you've dealt with these one-on-one issues. And now we're getting
more my favorite.
Now we're getting real personal between us two. We're laughing at ourselves here.
I'm laughing at myself.
Yeah. So, you know,
although mine exhibit from the past and the future.
Yeah. So our issues in the solar plexus are our issues with ourselves, but usually about how we dealt with these issues with one-on-one people and all of that sort of thing. So it's like, not feeling supported, and it's like, we've really got to get rid of the negative emotions, blame, shame, guilt, all these things. They're not actually ours, guys. We've picked them up. We've inherited them. We've been tricked into them. They're not our true selves feelings, and we have to cast them out. And when we can get rid of these things, blame, shame, guilt, fucking fear, hatred, all these things, when we replace them with our true emotions, this fixes all of it by itself. But, that's like some next level shit there.
That is next level shit.
So, this is why we go through it a little bit more slowly like this, finding out what the issues are. And this builds the belief. We clear one, we clear two, start clearing them, and that'll build our belief bit by bit.
Alice says, I need to let go of ex-husband issues.
Yeah. Yes, and it is. And it's like, so it's, we often use the word forgiveness, but forgiveness kind of gets a bit funky for most people. So just think of it as closure, right? Yeah. And forgiveness is about, if we don't have forgiveness, if we don't get rid of blame and shame and guilt and hatred and stuff like that, we're actually imprisoning the person's energy inside of ourselves. Yep. And that's what causes a lot of this problem. Yeah. So when we release, when we forgive, or when we have closure, we're not letting the person off. We're letting divine law take it. We're letting the law of nature sort itself out. The law of karma will sort it out somewhere or other. They've got thousands of lifetimes, so who cares? And so,
if you can get to a place, as John said, forgiveness is funky for most people, right? Yeah. Everyone thinks it's really hard to do, right? Yeah. But it's if you can get to a place where you can accept what has happened, and right or wrong, good or bad, don't apply those lenses to what's happened. Okay, that happened for these reasons. The universe has given me a message. Brighter things that have come. And don't hold any blame, right? The key is really blame, right? Don't try not to focus too much on the blame. The blame then triggers a whole bunch of other negative emotions.
And so what the technique we use for this is, so you bring a picture of the person up in your mind, or you think about the person, and then you feel what emotions are there: fucking hatred, frustration, blame, whatever. And then we say, okay, that emotion, that feeling, please, inner being, God, whoever you want to talk to, whoever the creator is in you, talk to that and say, look, I really, really want to let go of this blame. I really want to let go of this resentment. I really want to let go of whatever the emotion is that's coming up. Yeah. And I'm really struggling. Show me how. But it has to be genuine. It has to come from that place. I really, really want to, and I know it's right, and I'm really struggling to do it. And you do that genuinely, and you talk to the inner being, you talk to the God within, whatever you want to call it, and it really starts to work. And and some of them, like these ones with our exes, can be quite big. You might have to repeat it 10 times a day for the next 2-3 months.
And it's a good point. Sometimes when we work on these things so much, we get to a point where we consciously deal with it, right? But the emotion's still there, So a good way to work through that situation which where you think you've consciously gotten through it, but there's still something there, is to bring that picture up in your mind and see how it feels, right? So bring a picture up of your ex in your mind, see how it feels. There's still something there. I can't quite place what it is, right? Fuck you. So then just ask your inner being. I'll ask God as I ask God. I say, God, whatever the fuck that is, please show me how to get rid of it. I consciously feel as though I've worked through it. I don't know what it is. Get it the fuck out of my being. Fuck you. You're a fuckwit. I'm going to stab him later. I'm going to bring up a real picture of him in real life. I'm going to stab him.
I hate it when he does that, and I think that's the first time I've really done it to him. So payback's a bitch.
Payback's a bitch. Clearly, I need to do more of that. So thank you for pointing that out.
Yes,
Caroline.
And her name's
clearly, Caroline.
Clearly,
my ex-wife's name's Caroline. Thank you, Caroline. What are the fucking chances? Fuck, I love you guys. Right. Next.
Okay.
These are good
ones. Dream of tooth falling out.
Which tooth, Charlene? May I ask? Which tooth?
So
I'm keen to know.
What you can do, just tell us, was it one tooth? Or was it my favorite one when all my teeth fall out? I've had that one at least a dozen times in my life. That one freaks me out for whatever reason. So if you can clarify which tooth, how many teeth, then it'll... yeah.
All right.
So
keep going.
We'll come back to that one in a minute.
Yep.
What's that?
Oh wow, so many comments. We're about to lose them. Oh shit, there they go. All right. Sorry, we just lost a couple of comments. Many people commenting. All right, Christina. I've always had a problem with water infections. I was hospitalized once with a kidney infection. You guys are hilarious.
We're laughing because
these so far have been everything that either one of us has been working on for the past week, I reckon, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. So kidney issues,
pretty funny.
Water issues. So first of all, covering the physical side again, guys. Get rid of the tap water. Just we don't cook with it. We don't drink it. If I had the chance, I'd put a proper filter on the outside of the house, and I wouldn't freaking shower in it either. But we've got to start where we can start. So at least stop drinking tap water. The fluoride in that is going to affect the kidneys big time. But you got kidney and bladder, the yin and the yang of the meridian system. So kidney and bladder, their negative emotion is fear. Fear is their negative emotion. A few other ones related to fear
can also come up as anxiety. General nervousness, worrying.
So drinking water flushes the kidneys, but drinking water consciously, telling it to flush the kidneys. And the kidney meridian and bladder meridian are not specifically isolated fully to the kidney and the bladder. They can be separate, and they do relate to each other, but they're not kidney.
The kidney meridian, as I know very well, the kidney meridian starts here, goes up and over and around and all the way down the back. Right?
That's the bladder, actually.
Oh, the bladder. Sorry.
The kidney, but yes, related. That's the yin. The bladder is the yin, and the kidney is the yang. So getting rid of fear and flushing the system of the lighter toxins. So the lighter like chemicals, the higher end chemicals, not like alcohol and stuff like that, but more like some of the food chemicals and stuff like that. But fear is the main one, and so anxiety, nervousness. So breathing deep is a big one. So meditation, breathing deep into the belly, that's grounding. Just lots of practices that relate to grounding will help with the bladder infection, and also simply stop getting pissed off.
Like for me too, like this, and I'll talk a bit about this because I like this topic. Right? For me, this exhibits such that I have a loss of confidence. Right?
He's got it now.
Fuck you. I lose my confidence. Right? When my bladder and kidney meridians go all out of whack. So I lose my confidence. Like it's like taking an edge off my confidence. Right? And then that sort of leads to not feeling like you're in control. Right. Pretty much. Right. Yeah. And if you're not consciously working on that can run for months. Right. And even for me, some days, some weeks it'll run for 3-4 days. Right. And that's me actively working on this. Right. So water for me is a big thing. So Drink lots of water, talk to the body, ask the body to use that water to flush.
Also, you mentioned water infections, which people generally say bladder infections. So the fact that you mentioned water infection means it's the water element, which is the navel chakra again. So meditations where you put your hands and cup underneath your navel, that helps to strengthen that sort of area. And also calming emotions. The water, the perfect water element is supposed to be like an ocean, but perfectly mirrored, like a still pond. That doesn't. So upset emotions, too much emotional turmoil is going to take and drain energy from that particular system. So okay, we'll move on from that. Again, we can go on for days.
There's a big one.
Yeah,
one of my favorites. All right, Zara. Here we go. I'd love some guidance in regard to having my children controlled by my ex. I miss them terribly. Left side, huge lump in breast. Being checked okay by doctor.
Okay, so
couple parts there, right? Yeah.
So Zara, children controlled by the ex. That's just the way it is. What you got to do is be an allowance or acceptance of that, right? And also, but be an allowance and acceptance of you controlling them. So, when my kids were younger, I was guided to go away and leave the state that I lived in for a period of time, and they wouldn't tell me how long. And I was like, I freaked out. And it's like, but they said the work that I was doing on myself is going to benefit them in the long run. And I had to play what I call playing the long game, right? I had to go, okay, so the more I change myself, the more I get rid of negative emotions, the more I get into oneness in myself. No matter where I am, that's going to help my children, because the sins of the parents are passed on to the children. As a saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Now, this happens whether you're in vicinity, whether you're not. I was adopted, and I had two sets of parents, and I seen lots of stuff that they call genetic that was fucking not genetic at all. It came from my nurture and nature, as they call it, and vice versa. But I know that any of the issues that, say, my adopted dad, that he worked through, that got through his own fears and that passed on to me, like even many years later, and same with my kids now. So it's work on yourself, work on this issue within yourself. So, maybe your masculine, your feminine aspect is too hard on your own inner child and too controlling. So work on releasing that control and work on letting talk genuinely to your emotions, talk genuinely to your feelings, and let them work on the same issue on the inside. And the lump in the breast, that's just going to be a buildup of emotions about not feeling like you can nurture. It's left side.
Left, yeah.
So this is about, yourself being a woman, being nurturing. This is the one where you've got to, stop trying to control yourself and trying to control life so much, and start working on that on the inside. It's a really, really big one, Zara. And it's like, we're both.
I feel you're right. I go through similar things with my ex-wife and the kids at times, and I know this can be a really big thing to swallow. But what I'm about to say, but what you're seeing play out on the outside of you, as John said, it's going on within you, right? So the having my children being controlled by my ex, that's being played out outside, so without you, to show you what's going on within you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that can be a hard pill to swallow, and that took me fucking months to swallow, right? Like
really?
Fucking
How months?
Fuck you, a long time, right? A really, really long time. Yeah. And when I started to actually,
bit by bit.
When I started to actually to come to terms with the possibility that that's what was happening, and started to then just take little bits and take this particular issue that animates me with my ex-wife and my kids, and work on that within me. I actually started to fucking see the changes
on the outside.
I fucking swear to God. Right?
Without saying anything, without
dealing with the issue, without talking to my ex-wife about it, without talking to my kids about it.
Yeah.
If I fix that in me, that particular issue disappeared from my life.
So we have what we call a threefold aspect to ourselves. We are one being, guys, but we have a divine masculine, divine feminine, and a divine child or soul. Those three, the way that our masculine, which represents the heart, the way that our feminine, which represents the wisdom and the upper three chakras, or the child, which is the lower three chakras and the soul. The way that we have that inner talk and deal with each other, and the way they work together. The original saying was, the faith of a mustard seed will move mountains. But if you actually go to the the Thomas Bible. It actually said when two people in the one house work together without fighting and without arguing, that moves mountains. And that's our masculine feminine.
Even though you're seeing this play out with your ex, I'm kind of getting it's more feminine in your inner child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting. So there's some aspects of your feminine, divine feminine, that's controlling your inner child.
And so your inner child comes out with your emotions, and the divine feminine comes out with the wisdom, with the big picture.
Yeah.
So the divine feminine says, well, we can't do this, because it sort of looks at the divine feminine, the wisdom. It's like the peace dove. It flies over and looks at the big picture, but then it becomes too controlling. The heart, the masculine, which is representative of the lion, and the lamb is the child. The lion's supposed to guide and say yes, but he's supposed to listen to the feminine as to the general, be careful that going that way, be careful going this way.
And that's kind of backed up, I think, with the lump on the left side, right? Oh. The emotions part is on the left side. So it kind of feels like your masculine's reaching out, just going, please look at this internally.
And this is what the hand prayer position is basically about. It's bringing our divine masculine together in the heart, in one, so that then we can raise our child into the heart as well, our soul up into the heart. So the three parts can be together there, and we can become one in the light again. So, all right. So, Jennifer, I'll just cover this one really quickly, because, again, this is a real touchy subject. And, guys, these big ones like this, like Jennifer's, she had a dream. She died in 7 years, and she still has a lot to do, and she's a little scared because of her health problems, diabetes and stuff, right? So if it is true, if stuff like this is true, guys, these are not things that you can come for a 10-second advice on or a 10-minute advice on. These are things that we should work over a bit of a time with a proper counselor or a spiritual teacher. So it's something we've got to work on over time. But just to quickly cover that for Jennifer, 7 years is a damn long time if you're in the moment. If you get in the now and you challenge every one of your fears, that's all this is about. It's about looking at our fears, following our intuition, facing everything that we're scared of. 7 years is like 10 lifetimes for the average person. I remember when I first opened up to this, the first year, that was when I was 28, I did more in 1 year than I did in 28 years of my life. In 1 year, by going internally, confronting my fears. So 7 years is a lifetime if you live each moment and you live in the now. I'm not going to go any further into it, because it could be just a dream, that's about death and rebirth as well, often. But because you've got the health issues, I'm not going to go into it without knowing more about that. But it also could be symbolic. We have 2, maybe 3 deaths in our life, and that's what they call born again or whatever. This is when we open up to more of our spiritual stuff. So it could be symbolic as well. But without going into the health issues, I won't go any further with that one.
Jade, shipping container. Why do so many people have stuff in storage these days?
Well, we moved into state, into a fully furnished house.
Yeah.
So now we're regretting not bringing it with us, actually. But yes, normally I wouldn't have anything in storage. I don't like accumulating stuff these days. But yes,
jumped out. Lisa, not too much there, but I'm struggling walking at the moment.
Okay, so again, guys,
nervousness in direction.
Yeah. So looking legs and walking is about direction, and also walking is a lot about being in the moment. So it's about what you need to do with struggling with your direction. Where do you go? Now, in the current climate, everybody in the world is struggling with that. Most people, at least half of the world, doesn't even know what job they're going to do when this is lifted, right? So that's going to be a general collective consciousness issue as well. And also looking at things like the EMF signals, the radio frequencies and that, turn your phones off, guys. Honestly, turn your Wi-Fi off and that. Turn your phones off at night, or get them out of your room. Get them at least 3 meters away from your bed.
Try it.
Yeah, try it.
Just try
it for a couple of days, and you'll see how much different you sleep. We can't do anything about the bigger issue because they're everywhere. They're in the streets and that. But our phones just pump it up, right? I take my phone in my room now, and I was in there today, and my son brought it in because I had a phone call. It's like, put it down. 5 minutes later, I was like, fucking get this thing out. Once you get used to not having it around, it fucking really starts, rashes, all sorts of things can come out from that, because the frequency and the frequency waves clash with our frequency. Every atom, every molecule has a frequency, and it's the clash between the two. I'm not going to go any further into conspiracy and that with it, but they don't harmonize. So, keep it to a minimum.
Not a lady with the left knee. We kind of spoke a little bit about left knee before.
Yeah.
Just want to give a quick recap.
What was that?
We are Lots of problems with my legs, mainly knees. When I'm walking, they tend to give way. Injured my left knee, ended up in hospital for a week and a brace for 2 months during that time.
Right, yeah.
I was a carer for my sister.
Okay. So, there's resentment, there's control issues. So bones, guys, generally represent resentment. Then you got ligaments, which is control. You got tendons, which is, I forget. But, yeah, so it's like and knees and elbows generally represent the solar plexus area. So there's issues with yourself about, you're a carer for your sister. So you've got issues with yourself, taking care of some other people for so much, and now you need taken care of, or you need help, and maybe there's no one around to give it, and you've just got this resentment. You're caring for other people and not caring for yourself enough is the main issue I'm getting there, and that's causing an issue between you and you. And it's like, so you're
falling over yourself.
Yeah, and it's like, your legs nearly giving way. You're putting so much weight on yourself trying to help everybody else. Sometimes the best help is just to step back and work on yourself and be the change you want to see. Once you change it, once you're liberated from your own fears, your presence automatically liberates others. This is, we get ourselves over our own illness and our frequency. We share the frequency. 80% of this bloody coronavirus, people, 80% are recovering. They don't have a vaccine or anything, and 80% are recovering from something that's only been around for a couple of months. So, because we share the frequencies, we share through our heart, we share through the field or the matrix, whatever you want to call it. We share these frequencies. So, do the work internally.
We've had a couple on headaches, but I'll read this one out from Janita. Hey guys, getting a lot of headaches. Can you help? So, what do headaches represent, John?
So, generally speaking, headaches represent holding on to old limitations. So, which is a very broad topic, So front of head is holding on to old limitations about moving forward into the future. Back of head is holding on to old limitations about the past, which also affects how you move forward into the future. But it's more about what we're saying, it's the back of the head, where the habits, the patterns, these are the old limitations. We're holding on to, we can't do this, we can't do that, this is a problem, that is a problem. All these things where we become judge, jury, and executioner. These are the limitations. So we've got to change that. I don't know. Maybe that'll happen.
For example, I tried that before and it didn't work. Yet your intuition is guiding you back to the same thing, back to the same thing, back to the same thing. And all you can remember is, fuck, when I did that last time,
I tried this 10 times, it didn't work. It's like, and that's the holding on to old limitations often. And again, guys, usually for headaches, I'll have to talk to somebody for anything up to 15 minutes, 20 minutes before I find the key to. It'll be one issue. It'll be related to one person or one event or one thing, and they say they can't do something, or they don't want to do something, and that causes a lot of the headaches. It causes pressure in all sorts of the system. But it is exactly like John said. It's that repetition of saying, somewhere your intuition. See, our intuition or our emotions speak just like our brain does and like our mind does. But it just doesn't speak with words. We interpret our feelings. We say, "Oh, this doesn't feel right." That's our feelings speaking, right? So we've got to watch these words, and these are what block us, and these are what block our energy flow through the meridians, through the chakras, and this causes most of our pain. Pain only exists from a blockage. So in science, will tell you that the nerve endings we have in our body cannot register where most of these frigging pains come from. Once you study enough about nerve endings and that. You can't. There's not enough nerve endings inside the body to feel this shit that we feel, right? So it's got to be running through some energy meridians or energy lines, for us to be able to feel that and feel the blockage. Okay.
Hey, Rosemary, thanks for the great feedback. She's new since the show last week. She came across us by accident. She watched our show last week. I'm guessing she took a lot on from that show. She's had so many weird, wonderful things happen.
Yeah. So guys, these tools, and this is why you got to be genuine with this stuff. And to be genuine with it, we say the first thing is what if, and I wonder, or I don't know. If we can get to that space opens our mind. So what if this is true? What if this can work? That's how you be genuine. You don't say it is, because that's not genuine. You don't believe it. It's not going to fucking work, right? People go, I'm healthy, happy, and whole. I'm like, well, tell your fucking face. It's like, I'm getting more healthy. I'm getting more happy. I'm getting more whole. I'm getting more healthy. I'm getting more happy. It's being genuine and being genuine to where you're at. One day you might be healthy, happy, and whole. The next day you might be going, I'm fucking nowhere near that, but I'm going to get back there. So it's like, all right.
Hey, Cerise, welcome. Hey, Shazza. Caroline, it feels like it's stopping me from allowing. Oh, this was the ex-husband juice. It feels like it's stopping me from allowing the right man to enter my life. You're probably right.
It is, yeah, it is as simple as that. But what's stopping you is you not coming to closure with it within. So your intuition, your inner being is stopping you from repeating the same mistakes. And everyone's copying this. This is just at this point in time, it's getting super magnified. It's like it's just
what Spirit just said to me. They go right there, that right there. That's the best fucking motivation you've got.
Yeah. There's your motivation.
There's your motivation.
Why to come to closure?
Ask Spirit.
Yeah.
They're like, there's your fucking motivation.
And just ask where you do the same situations. What's he doing? He's not listening. So is your masculine not listening to your feminine? Is your feminine not listening to your child? Which is going on here? That you got thoughts, you got feelings, and you've got emotions. Is a simple way to put masculine, feminine, and child. Do your thoughts override your feelings? The feelings are more general. Feelings are less personal. That's the masculine. And that's where we can, almost sacrifice ourselves, become martyrs if we do it badly. But it's the one that is less personal to us. Our thoughts are more about, trying to guide and our direction and everything else on a bigger scale. And then our emotions are more about having fun and what we want to do to grow and to expand and push ourselves and push our limits. So, if you're too cautious all the time, this is the feminine looking over going, oh, don't go there, don't go there. And it's like, so there's no masculine and the child doesn't get to express itself. So look at these things, guys, inside yourself and look at the relationships you're having, the issues you're having in these relationships. This applies to all of you and all your relationships. If you can look at it and say, where do I do that in me? Mostly it's going to be inside. Every now and then you might find one where you do it to other people on the outside. But I'm guessing if that's happening, you won't be here listening to us because you'll be way back further down the track. So,
right,
this is going to be symbolic inside.
Melissa, okay, I'd like some insight, please. My groin feels as if it's click out of place on my left side. Lower back pain, which you're answering right now. I'd like to know what's behind the groin pain. Firstly, your inner child's like screaming on the floor like a I want to say like a spoiled brat is the words that come through. Yeah. But keep going.
So the groin pain is the base chakra. Yeah. It's about grounding, and often where it feels like it's clicked out of place, it's actually trying to click back into place. So one part, so the lower back is out. That's going to throw it's like the whole spinal system. That's where our consciousness lies. It's not the brain and the spine are all one. They're not separate, guys. It's right through that's our consciousness lies through the spinal column. But the base chakra and the groin is about group issues. So it's about how you're seeing the world, or how you're seeing your family, or how you're seeing women, or how you're seeing men, or how you're seeing the government, or how you're seeing some group. Some groups are going to be issues here. And so, did you say left or right?
Left.
Groin feels clicked out of place on the left side. And so, this is going to be more spiritual or more female. So this is issues on a group level spiritually. Not enough people in the world are spiritual. Not enough people in the world of gratitude.
But groups that are the groups that you feel are spoiled, perhaps.
So we've got to get rid of those negative emotions, guys. That applies to all of us. This is my work and his work every day, all day. Pretty much. We're not talking from professionals that have mastered it. We're talking from people that are in the fucking trenches, so we're working on this stuff as well. And so it's the left I'm getting here, it's female issues, and it is most of the time. If we can work out the female issue, then it generally works out the spiritual. And so this is how how the groups have affected you. So maybe how the women in your life, or the women, like say in the family, or the women that you grew up around, how their role model as women, and that's affected you and affected your judgment on other women. And that's causing the pain. It's causing it to be out of direction from your inner being, what you want to see women as a group, and how you want to see women. That's what it's trying to get. That's where the pain's trying to get you back to. And if you can go with it and go, okay, thank you for the message, even though I can't read it properly now, thank you, body, thank you, soul, whatever, for the message. And I'm going to listen more and more. If this is about what they're saying, show me clearer, give me another message. And things pop up, guys. When you say this stuff, it's freaking amazing. You do that, go, okay, this is probably a message. Or what if this is a message? What if it's what they're saying? If it is, and this is a group issue, this is issues I have, show me. And it'll pop up in TV shows, it'll pop up in posters, it'll pop up, and I'll ring you and actually tell you if it's the individuals. I'll ring you 5 minutes later and go, hey, and you're like, fuck you.
Right. Charlene's dream of losing a tooth was one tooth on the left side.
Okay, so what I'll do, Charlene, John came across this one the other day, I didn't even know myself, is each tooth relates to a meridian. So what was the lookup?
So if you look up tooth meridian chart, I think was what I googled, tooth meridian chart, and I found one site which had like the teeth, and you could click on a particular tooth, and it would tell you which meridian was related to.
Yeah. So then you can look up the meridian, and then the meridian group, yin and yang, will tell you basic. But left side is going to be spiritual, and generally teeth are about chewing over things and cutting through things. So you're not chewing over, like this is just generally on teeth, but it really seems like this one relates to the meridian more. So I'd look up the teeth meridian chart.
Teeth meridian chart.
Yeah, that's for anyone, guys, or just meridian charts in general. But yeah, so it's about like chewing through things. So if it's a molar, it's more about chewing over things in general, symbolically. If it's more one of the front teeth, it's more about breaking into things and having a look at the inside of things. So you're losing your ability to really sort of chew into things and digest them. So it's sort of like you've got to take a little bit more time to chew over some things. But yeah, that one seems to be much more about the meridian for a single tooth.
Beck, good fucking evening, Beck. How are you? Nice to have you back.
So yeah, guys. Also, just a quick touch base again. Thursday nights we do the meditation. So if you go onto our BQuest Wellbeing page, the Facebook page, there's an online meditation group which is still free at the moment. We do Thursday night at 8:30. So if anyone wants to do the guided visualization meditations, and with the old ones are on there. If you want to listen to the old ones as well, they're on there so you can sort of hear what it's like. But yeah, just a little plug there for that. Okay.
Oh, this is the backstory to the comment about the storage unit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I've been struggling since 2010. Sold all my furniture, took one bag traveling. Haven't been able to settle or find my place yet. Well, John and I, over about a year ago almost, not quite, we had 2 full houses worth of furniture. We literally either gave it away or sold it. And what we could fit between me, John, and his daughter Zara in a 4-door sedan, we packed up, and that's all we took to Melbourne with.
Basically closed, that was it.
Spirit told us one Sunday, you are moving to Melbourne. And I was like, yeah, I can get work in Melbourne. And the next Sunday, we were gone.
That's right. It was only a week.
We were like, fuck it, we're out of here.
Yeah.
So I get you.
Yeah.
And I think we're just about to maybe move into a house.
Yes. Find out tomorrow. So, yeah, a bit grounded. Speaking of ground. Okay. So Wendy and other people, we don't just do general messages, guys. This is more about intuition. We want to help people grow their intuition. So we get you to say it. And then when we say it back to you, I don't want you, don't believe anything we say or disbelieve it. And this should be general with everything. If you don't believe or disbelieve anything, then you can check with your own intuition, your own inner guidance. If you say interesting point of view or what if that's true, so everything, if you automatically resist stuff, you go, that's my belief. You're fucking kidding yourself, guys, right? Because you weren't born with beliefs. None of us were. We were wiped clean. Even when we fucking come in, if you know about past lives like we do, we're wiped clean each lifetime. So you weren't born with any beliefs. So you've bought them all. You've inherited them all. So double check your beliefs. People like my son goes, I've always believed this. What? You didn't believe anything until you were 4 or 5 years old. So where did you pick them up? You picked them up in the background. So what if this is true? What if, and then you're really checking with your inner being, then you're checking with your inner guidance. And if it feels lighter, if it feels more expansive, it's the truth, generally speaking. It gets a bit tricky to read that after a while, but at first it usually works really well for you. So it's not that easy a tool after a while though.
Hey, Misty, this is probably something that we'd normally do on a one-on-one session. I don't want you to feel like we've missed you because of this issue. She's asked for guidance. She's recently had a miscarriage and needs some guidance. Spirit's kind of saying it's a bigger one to dive into. But I just wanted to point out that I've read it. It's not something I'm being guided to talk to you about this time. And with this one, why John's saying this, why they're saying this is because it's really going to bring up emotions because there's usually a lot of really good reasons and it's just going to really pour out emotions. And we just, they tell us
with ones like that, we've got to be there to be able to like not let the emotions run too far, but let them come out enough so they are something that requires.
I'm wanting to give you something, and they're just telling me no.
Yeah, so it's like there's got to be more specific. It's something that takes more than 10 minutes, and it's not something that you should ask anyone because it's kind of dangerous, basically.
Okay, Jennifer, I think we answered something for her before, but anyway, she said, really wanted to know if diabetes type 2 and high cholesterol had any chakra or emotional link. Diabetes,
both of them do. Both of them do. So the cholesterol is the blood flow. So blood flow is created by the blood, and holding things up is the stomach and spleen meridian. So the spleen's the yang and the stomach's the yin, and it's the earth element, and it's about holding things up. So and I'm guessing it would be the same for the diabetes because that's about absorbing and stuff like that. So, but diabetes, I won't go into that. But more the cholesterol. So it's a real earth element stuff. So the blood is cleansed, the blood is strengthened through the spleen and the stomach. And so simple things like you're probably if it is spleen stomach, guys, you've got things like flat foot, saggy skin, prolapse discs. Anything where it's sagging and not held up is going to be a stomach spleen meridian issue, but it also cleanses the blood. So I'd be looking at, say, with the cholesterol thing. First of all, guys, I had a heart arrhythmia, still comes and goes at times. I had an operation, everything. But when I looked into it enough and looked deep into it, don't go to anything with a heart tick. Any polyunsaturates, they soak into the artery walls, and they make it softer. It's like wetting gyprock, and then if you've got sugar in your blood, it rubs on like rubbing sandpaper on wet gyprock. Now I know I'm talking to the guys here mainly. Actually, I correct myself. There's a lot more women doing home renovations these days. But it's like the actual saturated fats, natural fats like butter and animal fats, and that are much better for your cholesterol because they can't soak into the walls. That's just, again, a little bit on the more the physical side of things.
Donna. What about migraines? Pain is always on the right side behind my eyeball. Look, with what was this? Bladder? Is it bladder?
Yeah, that's bladder. Yeah.
I kind of get pain in through here, and with the meridian line that runs through, it can present as migraines at times to me.
So and it is. It's going to be It's either going to be gallbladder or bladder.
Yeah.
And also, but there's right side behind the eye.
Yeah.
So you're not liking what you're seeing.
Yeah.
So you're judging what you're seeing on a physical or male level. So either the males around you or the men of the world, you're not liking what you're seeing. You're judging it, and that judgment's causing it. Or in particular, where the world is at the moment, we could be judging where the world is and where it's going. That's more the physical, material side of things. Stop judging it. So when you get it, try and catch, because it'll be subtle. It'll be a feeling or an emotion that judged it. It won't be a thought. It won't be a judgment that says, oh, fuck this and that. And it'll be so habitual in the background. It's just like, oh, fuck, it'll just, that, oh, fuck word will be a whole paragraph of shit. And it's just like, and so what you do is when you catch it, go, what if it doesn't look like that? What if it's not going to look like that? What if I'm just seeing it wrong? What if I can change the way I'm seeing it? Whatever that is about males or about the physical. And then you start undoing it, and it really works really quickly. It's like, what if this is the way I'm seeing it, and the way I'm seeing it is wrong, and the way I'm seeing it, the way I'm seeing it is a bit different than that. Okay, cool. All right, so next we got
lots of people dream of teeth.
Teeth, yeah. Well, teeth is about chewing through things, and where we're at the moment, chewing over things and working through things is the harder thing to do. So that's just natural. That's where we're at with this coronavirus and stuff like that. So that's all good. It's like, that's collective now. There's just so many of them. I've had probably 4 dreams with teeth in the last 3 weeks. So that's, this is just, nobody knows what to chew through at the moment with the coronavirus going on. So it's quite simple. Yeah. All right,
Sue. Hi, guys. I've got a really bad right shoulder, right hip, and both knees. I've got osteoporosis and scoliosis.
Yep.
I've had seven children. Can you tell me what this means?
So right shoulder.
Bad right shoulder, right hip, and both knees.
So we're looking at a lot of right stuff here. So This is your physical direction, and because you've had 7 children, I'm guessing you've had a pretty hard on it when it comes to the physical side of things. But shoulder, knee, so we're talking a lot about resentment and a lot about control issues here. So the shoulder and knee, we're picking up so much here, Sue, that it's really hard to sort of nail down. But it's issues with the physical material world or men, and there's resentment build up. Maybe they don't pull their weight enough. Maybe you feel like you're not being supported in that. Both knees. Then you have issues with yourself, trying not to judge them. With 7 children, I'm guessing you're really caring and loving.
Yeah.
And so then you get these resentments and these other things that build up. And guys, when these negative emotions that build up, they're not ours. And it's like it's just a build up of emotions that we need to get rid of. So Sue, I wouldn't go any further into that. We will do in a little while. So it's something that, again, this is one of those big issues that we can't cover in 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay, Floren's asking, how do you activate the thymus gland? You ask it.
Yes. Basically, you speak to the glands, you speak to the body, and say, thymus gland, activate. Pump your.
I guess you've got to get to an amount of belief,
yeah,
right?
You got to be.
So if you don't normally talk to your body,
it's got to be a genuine.
A good way to start is, I wonder if I could actually talk to my body and ask the thymus gland to activate. Is that possible? Wonder if I could do that. Yeah. Right? Get into that sort of questioning, which is what we talk about a lot on our shows again and again, week on week. Right? You've got to get to a genuine place, a genuine point of view that it's possible for you to be able to do that. I remember when we started doing that back in Terrigal, like a year ago. Spirit was guiding us to talk to and activate all of our glands. So we would go through each of the glands associated to the chakras and slowly build up a belief to actually work through activating all the different glands in the body. And I remember after maybe even a week or 2 weeks of doing that sort of each day, you'd start to get feelings. You actually start to so I'd say, okay, activate the thymus gland and release any hormones and balance the thymus gland. And you actually start to get feeling in the body around those glands, right?
Yeah, and really starts to activate.
It was fucking cool, right?
Really,
and that built a lot of belief for me anyway about the fact that we can actually talk to our bodies and our bodies do respond to when we do.
Yeah. So you just say it, what if I can do this? And then you say adrenal glands, thalamus, pituitary, pineal, pump and release your hormones and pump and balance the hormones in the bodies. What if I can do that? You got to, as I said, it's got to be coming from a genuine, and you got to do it on that level. So, sorry guys, Nick. Look, mate, I'll get to you later on, mate. We haven't ripped you off or anything. We paid the rent up until we left the shop. We've had to leave the shop. The company is closing. We're in the middle of this, so sorry, Nick. This is our old landlord on here, guys. We paid you up to when we left. We cut the lease a little bit short because we're in this situation. The current climate, I'm going bankrupt and the company's going bust and we're moving out of this house. So, Nick, we'll get back to you. Please don't do this on the live, mate. I've showed you respect. Please show us some respect, please, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Brooke, can you speak to your chakras to open? You can.
Absolutely.
You can. And I do it regularly.
And your meridians. Yeah. You can ask the meridians to flow naturally. You can ask the chakras to open and clear. You can, there's all of these stuff, and you just got to come to a genuine point.
Yeah.
And it's got to be from an open mind. What if I could do this? Chakras, can you open? What does it feel like? So it's really got to be that open question. What does it feel like when my chakras open, when they flow? I wonder if I can feel that flow of energy right now. I wonder what if my meridians can flow in a natural, open way. So,
like for me, like I'd sort of go through in a body scan kind of way. Like you may not have heard, like when we go through body scans and the meditations, but I'll sort of say, I wonder what my navel chakra feels like. That's one of my ones, right? In the early days, I wonder what my navel chakra feels like, and I'd actually feel a sensation there. And I'm like, okay, I wonder what my solar plexus chakra feels like, and I'd feel that. I wonder what my heart chakra, and so on, right? And the more you do that, the more you talk to your body, the more you talk to your energy systems and your meridians, the more they'll respond, right? You know, and don't necessarily go to jumping to are they open, right?
Yeah.
Because they could actually be open, but you could in thinking that they're not open, create a blockage with them, right?
Yeah. So
or create a
ask
blockage
questions.
in your thinking.
What does
right?
it feel like when it flows? I wonder if I can feel it flowing. I wonder if I'm feeling it now.
Yeah.
Use these words like wonder and everything else. So Shazza's saying, do we know about kinesiology? Well, you know, this is just an extension. This whole thing of what we're doing, if it's light, it's right. If it's heavy, like that, is an extension of kinesiology. Kinesiology is just muscle testing. So generally speaking, if your energy system's running in its natural way, a strong muscle is a yes, and a relaxed muscle is a yes, and a strong muscle is a no. But if you've got to check each time, so you can use the finger and go, give me a yes, and you pull, give me a no. Okay, so for me, a yes is holding, and a no I can pull through. So. And you check that each time, and that just tells you the strength of the muscle. So the kinesiology, it's just a way that if you can't really tune into, does it feel light, does it feel heavy? If you know, it's just a way you can go to more of a physical check.
Adrenals are solar plexus, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Rebecca, the chakra for adrenals is solar plexus.
That's the fire element.
Fight or flight.
Fire element. That's the strength. It's a very yang. It's very fire. It's all about, you know, courage and all that sort of stuff in the solar plexus. And it's also your issues.
You can ask your adrenal glands to release its hormone.
Yeah.
That's a key.
So adrenal glands, can you pump and balance the adrenaline in me right now, and balance, you know, all the glands in my body? Can you guys pump and balance and flood my glands in the balance way?
Now. And if you find yourself trying to figure out how that works and how to do it, what I do is I go, fuck that, fuck you, just do it. Yeah. Just do it. Just do this. Boom.
Yeah, it's like you just go, look, you know, the balance is there, what the body wants to require, and the feeling just happens once you get to a genuine openness about it. It's not, you don't have to be genuine in 100% believing it.
Yeah.
You have to be genuine in wanting to find out, genuine in wanting to know. And the genuine has to become between the head and the heart and the soul, or the thoughts, the feelings and emotions. If you can't just be genuine in your head, and your emotions, your feelings are going, nah. It's like, it just doesn't work that way. So, you know. What else we got?
That's about it, I think, at the moment. Well, could my mum talk to her cancer to die? Well, it's entirely possible, Brooke.
Yeah.
I mean, you showed me a video of a healing center over in...
Yeah, so there is a video online, which is with, what's his name, Brandon something, and he is the Heart Math Institute, and there's a hospital in China where they do energy medicine, and they show it on a MRI, the actual cancer shrinking and disappearing. They have 3 healers standing around a person, and they're chanting, and their particular chant for their healing system, in English, it translated to already gone, already healed, already fixed. So the guys with the law of attraction, with all of this stuff, what you've got to do is have so much emotion and feeling into what it feels like and looks like when it's already done.
Yeah.
So, you know, I heard a really good one about the rain dance, and this was actually from that same guy, that Brandon guy. And he had a big farm, and they'd been in drought for 2 years or something, and he brought this Native American rain dance guy over, and he drew a circle, and he picked this particular spot there, and he just watched the guy, and he's dancing around, he's stamping on the ground and everything else, and he's just really getting into it. And then literally 4 to 6 hours later or something, the next morning, it rained for the first time in years. And he was asking him, he goes, you know, how did you do it? How did you call the rain? What was your technique? He goes, I didn't call the rain. He goes, I was there in the rain. He goes, you see me dancing, where I was stamping my feet, I was splashing in the mud. I was feeling the raindrops hitting me. I was really doing it in the now. And it's like, so so for cancer, you've got to see it disappearing, and through love. Thank you for the message, and goodbye now. And you're already gone. You're already there. And the perfect harmony and the perfect balance is there. And it's got to come. It's got to have emotion with it. It's got to really have that real warmth and that emotion and that love, and really focus on it. And it's got to come from belief, you know. And it doesn't have to be full belief. It has to be. You have to be open just enough to what if, you know. It has to be.
Humans are pretty freaky. Yeah. Infinite beings are even freakier.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, go away, Nick. I'm not going to deal with you anymore. I'm going to cut you off. Sorry, mate. This is not the place to do it. I haven't held back. I'm still working.
Karen, on the headaches thing, we spoke about it twice on the show earlier. I did mention, I think, your name when I spoke to one of the other ones. So maybe have a listen back through.
Yeah. So the
guided meditation Thursday nights, 8:30 this week, every week. So jump on our Facebook page, links at the top of the live, Big West Wellbeing. Look for our online guided meditation group. Join that group, then you'll get notifications. Register for the event, you'll also get a pop-up.
Yeah. Okay.
But we go live in that group through Facebook every week on a Thursday now at 8:30.
Okay, guys.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much, and we'll join you Thursday, or we'll join you next Monday, whichever one you prefer. See you then. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.